So I'm going to tell you how to use a bee escape to get the bees out of your honey supers so you can pull those frames and extract them with little disruption to the bees. This is a system I've been using and it works great for me. I don't want to work with stinky substances to get my bees out of the honey super, so when I first started beekeeping, I elected this system and I've had really good luck with it. And it's just this plastic device that fits in the hole of your inner covers, and you just pop it on the top of there, and it's a one-way trap. So you see inside there the little copper wires. The bees can crawl out, but they can't get back in. You have to pay attention to these over time. As that spread gets a little bit greater, then the bees will be able to sneak back in there. So you want to make sure that they can't get back in, so they don't get too spread apart. You can take this apart and push those copper wires a little bit closer together if that happens. But these look good. I just pulled them off of a couple of hives that I used them on in my other bee yard, and it worked great. I think there was 2 hives I used them on. When I removed the supers and the bee escape, there was no bees in 2 supers, and then the 5 supers I had probably about 4 bees in it. So it's a good method. I like it. The only trick is these inner covers that they're making now, or that they've always made, I believe, don't work with these bee escapes. You have to modify them. So what I did was I took a Dremel, and as you can see my little marking there, so I didn't cut too far. You have to cut this hole wide enough so when it sits in there, I'll put it in there and I'll show you the other side. When it sits in the other side, the bees need that space to crawl out. Okay? If you don't modify it, and if you just plop it in the inner cover that you buy, I'll show you what happens. The bees don't have enough room to get out of there, so they're trapped. And it's just not going to work for you. You'll go back to get your supers and you just still see a bunch of bees in them and wonder what's going on. But that's why I did that. So just get yourself a Dremel or some kind of a tool just to cut this out a little bit farther than it comes, and you should be all right. So again, check those copper wires to make sure they're not far enough apart where a bee could crawl in, because you want them to go out. And then this is labeled top. Okay, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's embossed on there. It says top. Obviously that's the top. You want to put the supers on top of this because the bees will crawl down at night when the temperatures get cooler. Now we're in September here in Minnesota, and when the temperatures start getting cooler, the bees are going to crawl out of the supers and down into the brood nest to keep things warmer down there. So they'll crawl out, and then they don't know it, but they're not going to be able to get back in. So, and then that just sits right on top here with the on top of the inner cover. And I'll get this other bee escape out of there. So I just go ahead and place this on here. Again, pay attention to top is obviously the top. And then I'll just put my supers on top of that. And I'm going to come back in about 2 days. We were supposed to get a couple of lows in the 50s tonight, and that should be adequate enough to drive them out of there. And like I said, when I remove the supers, there's a few bees in there, but nothing like there is right now. I mean, you see there's hundreds of bees in there right now. You can't see down in the other one, but there's just hundreds of bees in there. And there's a couple of different methods that people use. There's a fume board method. You can dick a blower and blow them out, and I think this for me has just been, I haven't tried any of the other methods, and there are as many ways of keeping bees as there are beekeepers, but this is what works for me. I'm really happy with it. I think these things were less than $5, and you saw how easy it was. That's all I do. I just take the supers off, put that in the inner cover, put the bee escape on there, and I'll come back in 2 days, remove my supers, brush any bees off, and I've pulled my honey from the hive. So I like how easy it is. It's very simple. Little spiders trying to figure out what's going on here. I don't know how well the bees will fare with that. There's actually 2 of them. That's kind of cool. All right, so there it is. Bee Escape. Check it out. See if it works for you. Thanks for watching.